Now, a couple people have asked me for this review. It's been a while coming, but today, finally, the review for the Cabeo by Steampipes. Let's get to work. Alright guys, so welcome to another episode of Cooper's Vaping View. Today we're reviewing the Cabeo. This is by Steampipe Mods. Steampipes has been around for a while now, more than a couple of years. They're a German company. Very, very high quality stuff. They don't fool around, and really, really super innovative. So without any further gushing about this, one of my favorite RTAs. Let's get down low. We'll get up close and personal with this, and I'll show you the ins and outs, and more importantly, as requested by a couple people, I'm going to show you how I wick this. So let's get down low, and we'll come back up, and I'll tell you what I think. All right, guys, so here it is, the long-awaited review of the Steampipes. It's going to have this cool design on the front. They have dots in front of it, so I don't know if it's the Cabeo. I've heard it called the Cabeo. I've heard it called the Cabeo. I call it the Cabeo. Steampipes been around since 2013. I apologize for these dents and dings. This is how I got this because I had to pick one up on my own. This was not sent for review. So on the back side here, it's going to say Steampipes, Cabeo ES V5.5. This is the DL version. I had a couple people ask me to do the MTL version. I was not able to grab that. I was not able to grab that ring. So there's your information on the bottom, the manufacturer's address and stuff. Other than that, that's about it. So we're going to get inside this little box. And you're going to have inside your top lid some paperwork. This is going to say what it is. Oh, that's German. There's English. No, it's not. So let's see what's on the back side. Nope. Nope. So apparently I don't have, there's French, Italian, German. Oh, there's English right there. But it says, the funny thing is it's written in German all down the side, but it says English right there. So, all right. So, there are some measurements, I guess, and whatnot. All right, let's get that to the side because it doesn't really matter. We're going to go over this anyway. So over on the side here, you're going to have your Allen key. This is for taking it apart. You're going to have your atomizer right there. Let's take this foam out. We have your, this is your, I believe, your ring to convert it for your drip tip. Some extra onion rings, grub screw. And that is it. That's everything that's inside there. So let's throw this back inside, put it to the side, and the star of the show. This is the Cabeo. This is a 24 millimeter Addy RDTA. It is 48 high without the 510 adapter on there. This is the proprietary drip tip. This unscrews. All right, but I don't change it out. I just, you know, I like it there. So these are the airflow. It is top down airflow. There's 4 of them, but 2 are blocked off. So that's your airflow. Let's take this top cap off. We'll take a look inside. I apologize if there is any gunk inside there. I have been using this. So there's some debate. I've seen people attack this little thing here with a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver. Not being rude, it's peak. It will flex. So if you grab it by the top and just squeeze lightly, it'll actually flex out and pop off on its own. So, oh, let me get it from the other side here. That's the one that doesn't want to pop all the time for some reason, but it does flex and it does pop off. So there is your deck. This is a single coil design. That is where your juice is going to come up and hit your cotton. Now, I will be putting a build in this, and I'm going to discuss, usually I do a quiet build with some music in the background. I will be discussing this while I'm doing the build, but I'm going to actually take this off here because we're going to take this apart and show you the ingenious design in this. So we're going to pop this right here. All right. And we're going to take this build deck off. Now, the build deck, nice big openings. Takes a pretty beefy coil. It can take decent coils. So I'm going to take the glass off. So the cool part is if you look right there, as you're drawing, this is going to create negative pressure, not positive, negative pressure. And it's going to pull that juice up into this area, which is going to go right to there where your cotton is. So when you put your cotton in there, you're not going to pack it in there. You're not going to stuff it down in there. You're just going to set it in there. All right. And the reason why that creates positive pressure is that disc right there. Now, if you see that pin, that's your screw. That right there is what screws into the positive of your deck. It's right there. There's the bottom of it, 5122. Yes, it does look scratched up. It is not. That is a design, and it's going to say Cabeo, Steampipes. Right down here, it says batch 2. So let's put this back down inside. Put the glass back on. So yeah, it is a really ingenious design. Oh, I didn't put the O-ring back down in there. So make sure your O-ring sets back down inside there so your juice doesn't leak out all over the place. All right. And then we're going to take this and put it back on. Now, I just take my finger and put it right here to make sure it doesn't press that down and it just catches. All right. And then I'll just take their Allen right here and tighten it up. So that way it makes a good contact. And that is not making good contact. There we go. All right. Just making sure it's nice and snug. Oh, it's still loose in there. And this is not tightening it down. There it goes. Guess I didn't put my finger on it and hold it down well enough. So, all right. So, you know, very ingenious design. Like I said, when you have that on and you draw, now you saw the straw in there where it has the spike with the sleeve where it has a space in there. When you draw on this, it actually is going to create negative pressure, and it's going to draw from that bottom pan the juice up through that straw area and to the bottom of your cotton. That's why you don't want to pack it up. You don't want to pack it. You don't want to stuff it down in there, because of the simple fact you're going to block off that pressurized system, and it's going to make it a little more difficult. That's why on this batch too, if you notice, there's little teeth right there. And what that is so even if you do kind of pack it in there a little bit tight, it's going to leave a little airflow in there. So, you know what? That's your Cabeo. Let's throw this thing on a build tab, and let's get a build inside this, and I'll show you how I wick it. That way you have an idea when you buy yours and you wick yours. All right, guys, so now we have this on a build tab. Let me knock this down so I don't accidentally push the button and burn the crap out of my fingers. I can tolerate 15 watts on a coil on my finger if I need to. All right, so basically you're going to want to set up a good coil. The coil that I'm going to be using in this is a really nice little alien. This is from 27 Coils. This is a 2.5 inner diameter zapper. Now, they usually come with one less wrap. I add a wrap, so that way it actually fits perfect inside this Addy. I'm going to throw this in here. Dun, dun, dun. Whoop, kick that coil out just a little too far. Let me make sure these screws are open. And I'm using this little tri tool because of the simple fact there's little screws that when they go down deep enough, they're shrouded around this post, and you need a really thin flathead to get down inside there. All right, so let's throw this inside here. And using this post, it does not want to go in. Let me just take it off this damn post. Do it the way I do it, as if I were just sitting at home relaxing. All right, look at that, perfect. All right, so now you want it really close to this deck. The reason why is you're gonna have the ring that goes around this. What did I do with that damn ring? It's somewhere around here. Oh, right in front of me. So you're gonna, this ring, and it's gonna go on each side of that coil. So you want to get it close to those posts, but not so close that it's going to interfere or be touching that. You don't want to do that because of the simple fact that will melt the peak. These coils tend to get a little hot, and you know, we all know this. And you guys, I'm pretty sure, are bored of watching me put a coil in something because of the simple fact the issue with this Addy is not the coil placement, it's the wicking. All right, give that a little tweak down, make sure it's in there snug and secure. All right, now what I want to do is I want to grab my post, put it in there, and just give this a little nudge where I want it, right about there. All right, so if you look, it's nice and straight in there. Actually, I might do it a little tweak to this side. Yes, I am a little bit obsessive compulsive sometimes with my coils. And let's give a little nudge on this side. And this side, I like to pull them up a little bit so they're not pinched down. That way I can get my nips in there. Actually, that one lined up perfectly, so whoop, there we go. I just want to make sure, the reason why I'm trying to clip that so close there is, let's do this. I want to make sure you can't see any of that sticking out, because if it sticks out past here, past the edge, the ring, it interferes with the ring going down over it. So let's pulse this puppy and give it a little warm job. Where's my, I have to be careful because I have a bad habit of clicking this a little too fast sometimes and shutting it off. I'm sitting there clicking it going, why the hell ain't it fucking pulsing the coil? Nice slow burn from the middle out. Looking good, looking good. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my Fresno Fag. Apple Jacks is what I'm doing in here because the flavor off of this Addy is actually really good and it brings out the cereal flavor very nicely. So there is my Addy built. So on to the wicking. This has been the bone of contention with multiple people. So I already have my cotton cut. This is the cotton I use. Tory wicks from Ranger Vapes. I use nothing else. And we do the same that we do with every other wick in our life. Narrow down one end and feed it through. And I don't think that's small enough. There we go. So I do this. This is me. This is how I do it. So what I do is I grab my scissors, and I don't have any scissors here because I was not prepared. There they are. All right. So what I do is I clip it a little bit past the end. All right. That's where I like it. And it gives me just enough room for what I'm doing. So then give it a little comb out, not a lot, just a little comb out, because I do want to increase that capillary action. If you wick it like some of the big beefier RDAs, RDTAs, stuff like that, You don't need to do it, but, you know, it's just become so ingrained in the vaping culture that everybody thinks they have to comb everything out. If you get a really good cotton, you don't have to worry about that. All right. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this. Normally you'd see me pinch this down and make it round again. I am not going to make it round again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch it like that and turn it right inside there, and just, if you notice, I just set it in there. That's it. I'm not driving in there. I'm not fluffing it up to fill the hole. I'm just setting it in there. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Grab it by the very end, turn it, and just set it in there. I am going to make sure the ends are in there. I am not pushing it down into that hole. I am just setting it in there. That's it. All right. And that's how it should look when it's done. Nice curl around. All right. You want all your wicks pointing down into that hole and just setting in there. No big schmig. All right. Now we're going to take that Apple Jacks. We're going to prime that wick and the coil. Just going to wet this down a little bit. And the funny part is, let's show you, that is a 0.23 ohm coil, and I'm only running at 14.9. Normally, because it's a DL, let's jack this up. Normally I'd be running it at about 23, so I'll run it at 20. I'll just give it a couple blasts at 23 just so you can see where I normally am with my juice and my vape. And that's why they call them zappers. They make a lot of noise. And, all right, so now we're going to throw our coil piece back on. Now, here's what I was talking about. If you notice, that coil is really close to that front one, and I don't like that. So I'm actually going to fix that. So I'm going to end the up close right there, because you do have the idea of the wicking, because I don't think you need to sit here and watch me fiddle trying to get my coil back. Let me stop this, and then I'll fiddle with it, and I'll bring it back so you can see where I want it. All right, guys, so now you can see that's exactly where I like my coil, almost dead center in that build deck. It's a little bit back further than I want, but I'm okay with that. I can adjust it from there and just do a little bit of fiddle fucking with it, and that's pretty much it. So let's get back up top. I'm going to vape on it. I'm going to tell you what I think, and I'm going to tell you all the pros and cons I feel about this. Let's get back up there. I apologize, guys. This is just a side note. So filling it up, when you take the cap off, there's that little hole right there. Basically what you want to do is take your juice bottle, make sure you line it up right over that, and make sure you press in while you're filling it. The reason why is it is just barely big enough for a unicorn. So it doesn't take a lot to fill it up. It does hold a decent amount of juice, but the problem is it will fight you. All right, so I saw a little flash of juice on the bottom there. And yeah, that was just my side note about the fill port right there. All right, guys, so welcome back up top with the Cabeo from Steampipes. Pros and cons. Pros. Build quality, flavor, airflow, everything on this is completely done right. Huge pro for the innovative juice flow. I love the fact that they use negative pressure to suck up the juice from the bottom of the juice well and bring it up to your cotton. It is excellent the way they did it. Very thoughtful, very innovative, huge. I mean, I know it's been done before similarly, but it's huge for nowadays, especially with the way we vape now. It works really well. I love the fact that, you know, if done right, Let's just take a couple quick rips and show you. 3 quick rips, not dry at all. Here, I'm going to turn on the light so you can see what I'm looking at. And my cotton is still wet. Everything is wet, soaked, and I just took 3 good rips on that. So that's how well the innovation works. If you wick it properly, it does work very well. Let me line this back up. Filling it. It is rather a small hole, so you're better off using a unicorn bottle. You don't have to worry about it burping or coming back at you because of the way the wicking works up at the top. There's holes at the top, so there is place for the airflow. Basically, I just fill it up. I know you can't see the top of it, how full it is, but I keep squeezing it until I see a little bit of juice peek up under the cotton. Then I know it's full. I do love that. It works well. It works great. I mean, I have no real issues for this. There are no cons. The only con that is subjective, and it might be subjective for you, not so much for me, and that is the wicking. It does take a little bit to get used to if you do it right. I've watched multiple tutorials, just like I said in the down low. Make sure you pinch the cotton with your tweezers and just set it in there. You want to make sure it's touching the bottom, but not plugging the bottom, not hard on the bottom. Just touching the bottom is all you need, and it will run like a top all day long. You have no issues. The only thing that I do need to mention on this is you do have what I call cotton compaction, and that is when you've been running cotton for a while and you don't change it for like a week, the cotton compacts and will fall down and plug those holes. Then you'll start getting dry hits, stuff like that. So it's really easy. Just rip the old cotton out, burn off the coil, throw some fresh cotton in there, and you're good to go. Just as long as you keep up maintenance on your Cabeo, then you should have no issues with dry hits or anything like that. You can follow my wicking tutorial and just make sure to change your cotton every so often. Back to my pros. I mean, the build quality on this is clean. It looks great. I keep mine on top of my trucker here. It is a beautifully done RTA. So, you know, with that being said, I'm going to end it right there. Make sure you check out my advocacy links below. Check out my Facebook group, Squonk Life. All those guys, lots of stuff going on. If you're interested in like a mod like this, the EVC Trucker, this is a custom stabwood model, beautifully done by Mike Mead. Definitely check out EVC Spinworks. So those guys always have something going on, and I believe he's doing another drop for a couple of mods coming up really soon. So make sure you check those guys out. Until next time, I'm Bill, Cooper's Vaping View. We'll see you on the next episode, guys.